Hey everybody, got another video here for you. Okay, I actually lucked out and got that on one pass. I was intending to do it in like 2 or 3 passes, but I don't know. I guess the fates are on my side today. So I've gone ahead and marked out the triangular heel here. Haven't marked the bolt holes yet. And I've marked out the spine. I'll go ahead and use the angle grinder with the flappy disc, 40 grit, in order to knock out this beefy part of the shoulders in the heel area. And then I'll just finish out the whole thing with the Shinto rasp. Get that trapezoid profile going on. Just go straight from that line there all the way to the edge of the fretboard, make it flat on both sides, and leave the spine alone. You don't want to get into this part. There's probably only about 2 or 3 mil of wood left between here and the truss rod, so. Okay, all done. Took a couple hours, I guess. That kind of thing. So, yeah, all shaped, ready to go, ready for sanding. Well, drilling and then sanding. As you can see, I actually made this one a little narrow on the spine. I sanded or rasped over the lines on the outside, but I didn't take too much material off. It's going to be a nice thin neck, and it's pretty even and smooth. No bumpies anywhere, no divots. This one turned out pretty nice, so yeah, I'm pleased. I did not hit the truss rod. Been a while. I've been unlucky, so yeah, I went for 40 mil spacing here. So yeah, 50 mil down looks like it's safe. That is 50 mil up from the end of a neck, putting an insert in. You're not going to hit the truss rod, it looks like. Okay, I've marked out on the headstock here for shaping it. It's going to get basically the pointy carved thing going like that. But before I do that, I need to check and make sure that I've left enough room for the string anchors. Okay, so the big concerns here are the number 3 and 4 string positions and this access hole for the truss rod. So it looks like this truss rod access hole is a little bit longer than your typical neck. And so if I put this guy like right here up next to it, which is probably about as close as I can get safely, it still sticks over the edge of the line between the two shoulders. And yeah, by about 5 mil, 4 mil, something like that. So it won't quite fit with what I had planned. And I guess I'm going to have to modify my plans. Okay, I'd like to put a truss rod cover on this thing. Which means these guys would definitely have to go up here somewhere. So I think what I'm going to do is, since these would have to go up here, I definitely have to do something like a kind of a V shape for the anchors to go around the truss rod cover and not have them, all the way back here and tons of extra string. So, and also, there's practically no room here, and you want it to look in some sort of a pattern, or V-symmetric, or following this line, or something. So I think I'm going to do them in a V pattern around a truss rod cover, and I'm not going to bevel this. I'm just going to leave it flat, and these guys will actually come out about here and here. So that's the new plan. And that means all I really need to do is just clean up this little edge right here. Okay, I think I'm finally ready to sand. The very last thing is I want to mark out a couple spots on the body with a punch, so that once I sand off all my marks, it'll be easy. By using the punch marks, I can reestablish all of my lines again very quickly and easily. I'm going to put a mark at the intersection of the center line and the saddle line, and one at the end of the heel and the center line. That'll get me my end of my heel line back. my saddle line back and my center line back on this side. On the back, I'll probably do a couple marks that'll just help me reestablish the center line. And then maybe the same kind of thing on the neck, down at the heel, and up at the nut on the back of the neck, which will help me reestablish the center line there. And maybe also at the front of the headstock too. That might not be a bad idea as well, or I can just measure that out later. So, but before I do all that, I suspect I'm going to have to get a few kittens off of the bench first. Okay, this thing's got, looks to be about 100 grit on it, maybe 120, something like that. And I'm thinking, this mahogany, while it's mahogany, it's still not too hard. It's not as hard as maple, I don't think. A little softer. It's not pine, but so I'm thinking that there's a good possibility that just like sanding and then light sanding with 100 grit on both of these might get them close enough to be ready to paint, because of the fact that they're going to be getting this Rust-Oleum enamel on it, which is really thick stuff that covers and fills. So even the sprays do. So I'm thinking it's not going to have to be, a mirror smooth 2000 grit kind of finish before the paint goes on. And so, maybe another pass with something a little finer than this. Wait and see. Okay, all done sanding. The stuff I had on the sander at first, apparently that was some really worn down 80 grit, and after a while I switched over some 60 grit. And basically once I got to the maple, I tried it with the 80, and I needed something a little bit more aggressive in order to do the shaping around the nut here on the back. And so I switched out to a fresh piece. And these are the results. Everything's looking very good, very smooth, and should be ready for painting. And here it's all been smoothed out there. And I left these edges sharp. This has been rounded enough that it's still pointy, but not so pointy that it'll have issues with breaking off. And it's got the trapezoid, came out real nice. It's all nice and rounded over here too on the spine, so no hard edges on where the player's hand goes on the back of the neck. And they're all rounded over edges. And then I was thinking about what I'm going to paint and what I'm not going to paint. I'm going to mask off the fingerboard and not paint it. I'm going to paint the neck, paint the body, and I'm not going to paint any of the hardware, I don't think. On the guitar number, I think it was 7, that had this kind of finish before, or a similar one, I painted it had an external jack plate, and I painted that. And I also painted the pickup, and I didn't put a depth pick guard on it so that it wouldn't cover up the paint job. But I'm just going to do basically the neck and the body on this and leave all the hardware. It's all pretty much either black or silver, little silver switches, and everything else is black. So, and then for masking this off, the best thing would be pinstriping tape, but I don't have any. It's on order. It'll be here in 5 days, so I'm not going to wait. I'll just mask it off with blue tape, and if I get any seepage, then I can just come back and scrape the edge of the fingerboard. Well, I think that's going to do it for this video. So, until the next one, everybody, have a good one.